In a session which provided the market with many positive moves, AMC stock appears to have been a standout performer among the retailers. Why? Well, let's take a ride down the highway to the danger zone.
Look it up.
Hi again everyone, I hope you're all doing really well. So Friday has closed the week on a positive note for the markets, broadly speaking. Wall Street stocks rallied on fresh signs that inflation had peaked, and consumer spending in the world's biggest economy is also showing some positive signs of turning around. So while this is good news, why has AMC stock seemed to fare far stronger than many of its peers? Well, not content just to ride the wave of broad market enthusiasm, AMC has strapped some FA-18 Super Hornet jet engines in the form of the Top Gun sequel being released. This, combined with the fact that the USA is going into a long weekend for Memorial Day, means the cinema house is set for a bumper weekend. To illustrate the AMC performance on the day, the stock had a bumper session climbing by $2.20 on the day, or 18%, to close the session at $14.43. By comparison, the S&P 500, while still having a strong day, only managed to close 2.47% higher. So unpacking this basket of catalysts, the core personal consumption expenditure price index, measure of underlying inflation favored by the Federal Reserve, was released at the start of the session and showed that inflation rose by 4.9% in April from the same month last year. However, this was down from the 5.2% posted back in March. So a good indicator that while inflation is still well above where the Fed wants it to be, there are signs of it starting to slow. The same report also showed overall consumer spending increased by 0.9% in April from the previous month. This figure is adjusted for CPI data, so the market seems to be reading this as a sign that the population is starting to move beyond some of the recent cost of living and geopolitical concerns that have plagued much of the first quarter and caused more savings to occur. Consumer confidence is obviously an important factor in understanding spending behavior. If confidence is low, less discretionary spending on things like tickets from AMC tend to decline. So improvements in this data is good news for the business such as AMC. Macro data aside, AMC and the broader cinema market are also expecting to gross as much as $100 million over the Memorial Day long weekend. The film, which cost $200 million to make, I believe has actually already made $235 million globally to date. The movie has also received very strong ratings on Rotten Tomatoes, with 97% from critics and 99% from general audience reviews, which seems to be bucking the trend of sequels tending to fail to live up to expectations of the original film. So where does all this leave AMC stock for traders? Well, given the discretionary nature, it isn't surprising that the stock has broadly been slipping this year, as can be seen on this daily chart. From early in the week, the stock was at near year-to-date lows, which could be a position of lower resistance if we are to see a return to negative sentiment in the market in the near future. The aftermath of the recent rally in late March could be a little bit of an indicator for where the stock could move to in the coming week in the near future. So all things holding equal, I would be looking out for moves up to the $16.20 mark and then possibly up to closer to the $19 per share mark. I say this because it is no secret that many retailers look to AMC for its short squeeze potential. Given the high shorting action the stock has routinely been subjected to over the last few years, pushing the stock back at least for a short while to perhaps where the recent high point of $34 is never really going to be out of the question, I think. Currently, AMC has about 22% of the float held in short position. However, the number is more than doubled to 56% when you look at short positions which are held off exchange. Given that there are currently about 2.5 days on average for shorts to cover, if AMC can continue to remain elevated early into next week, we could really see another strong push for the stock up, I think. Anyway, so some final thoughts. AMC seems to have the perfect storm of catalysts that allowed it to advance significantly during Friday's trade. Carrying this momentum into next week could allow the stock to once again capture the retail scene's passions at large. Given that the stock price is still trading not far off its year-to-date lows, such a move is likely to commence sooner rather than later, as it is an attractive entry price. If this momentum continues into next week, we may be seeing the latest short squeeze attempt from the stock. If so, then I will be looking at the $16 and $19 price points as levels of key resistance, in an upward movement. If the play is to be more sustained effort and market sentiment can continue to show some improvement, then I think we could be in for another push beyond these points. Not that any of this is investing advice, just some thoughts on where I think this stock could be headed next. Anyway, that's about it for this one. What do you guys all think? Are we seeing a turnaround in AMC stock at the moment, or is this just a temporary bounce up on the stock's broader trend down? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Till next time, everyone, may the markets trade in your favor. Cheers.